This is Karen with NewClevelandRadio.net, and it is time for What in the World with Paul Seaburn and his sidekick, John Donalo.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody out there in podcast land. You are listening to What in the World, everybody's favorite weird news show. I am Paul Seaburn, your host. And that's all I got.
That's
Goodbye.
Thanks for tuning in.
Show's over.
light side, Paul. I have to say, it's a little on the light side.
Sorry about that. That's right. I had a little brain malfunction there. Yeah,
Yes.
we're here every week with real news, sometimes strange, always funny. That's our motto. Strange stories from around the world. This is the place to come if you're tired of the bad news and the political news and the business news and all the other terrible things that are going on in the world today. Spend an hour with us. We've got strange news from around the world. We have fun with it. If you don't like one story, wait a minute. We got another one coming right behind it. Our co-host and producer is Karen Hale. Karen is the media mogul at NewClevelandRadio.net, which is our platform. Go to NewClevelandRadio.net. You find out how to find us. We're on YouTube for those of you that are interested in watching us. If you find me on Facebook, you can like me, show however you respond on all the other platforms so that we know that you're listening. We love to hear from you. On the screen as well, if you guys are watching on YouTube, is John Donalo, our host of What in the World of Sports. Hey, John.
Hey, hi, Paul. Hi, Karen.
Hey, John.
Hope everyone had a good Memorial Day.
Absolutely.
Definitely, yeah. Beautiful weather here in Cleveland, Ohio, which is where we're at every week. I was listening to the speaking of Memorial Day weekend, I was listening to the countdown. You know, the big countdown of the best songs of the world.
Right.
Sure.
No, I listen to oldie stations, so it's not the best songs of 2022. It's the best songs of 1967. And
That's when we were alive at that time.
there you go.
We're still alive.
Yeah, I know.
You're right, John and Karen both. So I heard a song that reminded me of What in the World, and the song was "Changes" by David Bowie. And one of the line that said, "I wish we had this as our motto for New Cleveland Radio." He sings, "Turn and face the strange." And that's what we do on this show. We turn and face the strange, and we have fun with it. So David Bowie, wherever you are in the afterlife, thank you for that little bit of inspiration. Love David Bowie. If you've listened to the show at any great length, you know I love quoting Bowie and making references to him. We do like to do a lot of trivia on the show, so that's one of the reasons why John is so valuable to us, because he's a trivia nut, and he more often than not has the answer to our questions. So I've got a couple for him today. Let's see if we can stump him. Speaking of stump, at the end of the show, we always do sports with John, followed by Bluff the co-host, everybody's favorite weird news game. So let's get right to it, because I've got some great stories. You know, I was a little worried because we recorded the show on Thursday last week, and today is Tuesday. So that gave me only about 4 or 5 days plus a holiday weekend. I thought there's no way I will have enough stories for the upcoming show. We got an overload. If we get to all of them, yeah.
Good to hear that.
So yeah. I thought you might like to hear it. So what? Here's some sample. We're gonna find out why some mice are afraid of bananas. I never heard this before. Mice are actually afraid of bananas. My favorite story of the week about a German lady who has fallen in love with an airplane, and not just I love to fly, but I want to have sex with a giant airplane.
No.
Yes. Yeah. Robot vending machines. I think this is the wave of the future. We need to get in on this business. Tequila has arrived in the metaverse. So we're going to learn a little bit about that. For those of you, the young kids, they're always talking about the metaverse. We're going to find out how you get tequila in the metaverse. Mutant potatoes in Texas. For our Texas friends, I want to say hello to my buddy Mark down in Austin. Mark sent me some comments on our last show, which I will not repeat, Mark. I'm sorry, but
Oh no, Mark.
Oh no, he loves the show. He loves the show. He's always sending useful hints. And then we're going to go to Turkey, where a guy who once flew under an umbrella may become Turkey's first astronaut. I think this is a great story. Bunch of other odd news. But I don't know if I got any world records this week. I don't think so. Plenty of trivia, Strange Sports with John, Bluff the co-host. Let's get right to it. We might have a visit from Bigfoot. Who knows? Okay. So I have admitted on this show before that I do have voices in my head that carry on conversations all the time, sometimes with me, sometimes not. Turns out people study this kind of stuff. I'm surprised they haven't called me. I've mentioned it often enough. But a recent study found that the brains of people who hear imaginary arguments in their heads between themselves and another voice actually undergo brain changes that can be measured by MRIs. And it's the same kind of brain change that you go through when you have an out loud verbal argument with someone. So your brain does the same thing. If the voices are in your head, or if you're actually having a physical argument, that your brain thinks of it the same way, which I thought was really fascinating. Unfortunately, the voices in my head like to talk politics. So, one of these days my head's going to explode.
Surprised it hasn't yet.
Yeah. I don't. My voices don't agree with me, so it's not good. And then what's even worse, John and Karen and everybody out there, is sometimes they talk amongst themselves like I'm not there and I can't hear them. But that's not fair.
It's not fair at all.
Right here, yeah.
That's rude. I mean,
It is. It's very rude. How do you point that out to the voices in your head?
Well, that's a
If
good
anybody
one.
knows,
Let me know.
we'll leave you a number to call at the end of the show.
And we'll also get you a padded room. So no problem.
Oh, thanks a lot, Karen and John. Okay. All right.
You're among
So-
friends,
We love talking about animals on the show. I think I've got a couple of animal stories, but this is my favorite of the week about the mice that are afraid of bananas. So it turns out that male mice in scientists in labs that have mice, when testing on mice, they've noticed that male mice are afraid of bananas. So they finally raised enough money to do a study on it, of course.
Of course.
McGill University in Montreal, they're the ones who got the money. And what they determined is that the smell of banana peels is caused by a certain compound, which also is in the urine of female mice. So the urine of female mice smells the same as banana peels. Now, certain not all female mice, Karen, but those that are pregnant or lactating. So that means they just had babies. And what they found is that the smell, it scares away male mice, because male mice, for anyone who's ever had pet mice, male mice are notorious for eating the babies.
Ugh.
So it's a natural thing that this female mice create this smell in their urine, and it keeps the male mice away until the little babies are old enough to fight them off for themselves. I thought that was great. I wish there was a way that worked on male humans, because then if you put your lunch in the office refrigerator and you had a banana in there, it would keep male humans from taking your banana.
Well, yeah.
Right? Yeah. And also, if you're a fan of Disney, you never see Mickey Mouse taking Minnie out for a banana split. Now you know why.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
There you
Well, never made that connection.
Many things you learn on What in the World that
Yes,
you
we
weren't
do.
expecting, and will come in handy someday.
I'll never look at a banana the same ever again.
Well, okay. If you know what I mean. It was what you say after that. All right, so I got a bunch of pictures for us today on for those of you watching on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, after you listen to the podcast, come and take a visit and see us on YouTube, and you get to see some of the pictures. I'll try and describe them for you. So this first one I had on my Facebook page. Researchers in Japan have created a robotic sixth finger. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Sixth finger that attaches. Oh, how did I miss that lady? Hold on a second here. We're having technical difficulties. There it is, right there. Okay. Now I've lost it. Oh, but what a shock. There we
There
go.
goes.
There we go. What happened to, oh, there she is. I just got my pictures out of order. It was a busy day out there for those of you. So please give us a break here. So
look
this
at
is a
that.
picture of the sixth finger that attaches to your hand, developed by scientists at McGill University. And what it does, oh no, this is in Japan. It responds to brain signals. So there's a little wire hanging out and the wire's attached to the arm, and you get signals, your brain sends signals to the arm, which sends signals to the finger. And if you look up a video, it shows the finger bending and doing things just like a real finger.
Well, why do you need 6 fingers?
Okay, oh, that's what everybody was asking me. Why do you need? So they said it will help make your life easier. And I thought one time that I wish I had 6 fingers, or at least one extra one, is when I'm on the freeway and I get cut off by 2 different cars.
Ah,
Oh.
yeah.
Now, I think for women, if you're driving and you just had your nails done and you need to do some picking, okay, you've got one extra finger that didn't get its nail done. You can use that.
Oh.
Okay.
So there you go, Karen.
Okay.
I'm glad you asked that question.
Yep. Me
Ringo
too.
Starr. Ringo Starr could up his jewelry display by 20% with this 6th finger.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's
Yeah.
good. Yes.
Extra finger. Go to KFC, you got more to lick.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, right.
You know, you could hang a wing on some of those curly fries, wrap them around that last finger. Anyways, all right. So the picture that I had up before here, this is a woman in Germany. Now this is lady. She calls herself an objectum sexual because she's sexually attracted to objects. And the object that this lady is sexually attracted to is a Boeing 737 passenger airplane. Now, she's a real lady. Here's a picture of her right here. There she is. It's a, I forget what airline it is. It's not a German airline, but so she's in a relationship with this plane, but she lives in Germany, and she says that she can't marry it because it's against the law in Germany. So I checked. I thought, how on earth could they have a law on the books that says people can't marry airplanes?
Yeah.
I know what it is that you're not allowed to have to get on the wing in flight and have sex with an airplane. So they just think that's too dangerous.
That's not a law on their books.
Paul, I think you're pulling everybody's leg on this one.
Oh, you think we're playing bluff the co-host a little early here?
Yeah, right.
But I did find out, yeah. You know, that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to join the Mile High Club with the plane, but it has to be a mile high, and they wouldn't allow her to get out on the plane. Wow. She also, this is not her first relationship with a plane. She broke up with her previous plane boyfriend because her romantic interludes kept getting interrupted by his mechanical problems.
Oh,
so
geez.
It's really going on and on. All right.
I know. Where's Bigfoot on that one? Yeah. I know, he agrees.
Bigfoot weighs in.
Okay. So this is serious, everybody. She's got 2 tattoos of her of the plane on her arm. She dreams about him. She's given him a name. His name is Dickie. And I couldn't think of a clean joke for that one. It seems like an odd name to name an airplane. I was thinking maybe Jet or Turbo, a big masculine name like Turbo. Or if she's gay, Delta would be a perfect name if it was a relationship with a she airplane. But this is this is a real sexual gender, I guess it would be objectophilia. And we have talked about this, Karen, way back when. We talked about a lady who was married to the Eiffel Tower.
Yes.
Yeah. So this lady is certainly not the first to fall in love with an object. Individuals, they're attracted. They have strong feelings of love and commitment to various objects. Like John. Now John is happily married. But I have noticed, John, that you do get attracted to autographed baseballs. So
that is true. That could be a strange thing, but I don't think it's anything more than just a attraction. I don't think there's anything, sexual to it.
No feelings, no odd
no
feeling. No,
romantic
okay.
feelings, no.
And that has nothing to worry about.
So believe it or not, there's actually a gender pronoun for people who have what did I call it? Objectophilia. And it is it. Okay, it's not he, she, or any of the other ones, but your partner is your it. And that's how you refer to them.
Wow.
So if your partner, if you're attracted to them and you're also related to them, then they're your cousin it.
Oh,
And that's my segue. That's right, my segue into the trivia portion of the show. That was the first thing I thought of when I was looking up the gender pronoun it. I thought, oh my God, cousin it. For those of you who are not, well, no, I guess all ages have heard of the Addams Family because of the movies.
Right.
right.
Cousin it was related to one of the Addams. Do either of you remember or know which Addams was the cousin of cousin it?
Morticia?
Good guess, John. Wrong answer. Gomez was related to, he was a little hairier than Morticia. So
Yeah,
there's a photo of cousin it.
Sure,
who looks basically like a big blob of hair. Looks like a woman with long hair from the back.
Yep.
Like sunglasses backwards and a derby. Would that be a good description?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's accurate. I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
I have a question about the Addams Family. Like
okay.
Thing. Like, how would you describe Thing? I mean, he's in a box.
The hand. He's a
hand in the box.
He's like a messenger. Yeah.
Right,
He lives in the
like
box.
a
He's a
thing.
hand. He's detached from whatever he came from. Cousin It though is Cousin It is an interesting character. I didn't realize this, but he had an IQ of 320. This is according to the show. He wore the bowler, but he also wore other hats. He always had a hat on, always had the sunglasses on.
Mhm.
And he spoke in gibberish that only the Addams could understand. The Addams Family show was based on cartoons in the New Yorker magazine, drawn by Charles Addams, real person,
Right.
who the show was named after. And believe it or not, he did not create Cousin It. There was no Cousin It in the strip. So they created Cousin It specifically for the show. And he approved of it. He had approval on everything. And so after the show became popular, he introduced Cousin It to the strip. The panel, the first one was Cousin It holding a phone saying, "This is it speaking," which I guess was funny. I guess you had to see it. I couldn't find it.
Oh my God.
And he was also in the family portrait that Charles Addams drew. So
Mhm.
now my favorite part of Cousin It lore is that he drove a car. John, you remember what car he drove? This is pretty remote, so I'll forgive you if you don't know this one.
I'm going to say like a Model A or a Model T.
Oh, that'd be a good guess. But something smaller.
A Volkswagen Bug.
Volkswagen Bug would be another good guess. That would have been my guess. He actually drove one of these, a Messerschmitt.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, a Messerschmitt is a 3-wheel car, 2 wheels in the front, 1 wheel in the back. The seats are in tandem, which means that there's 1 seat in the front and 1 seat in the back.
Huh.
This one is a convertible. I have another photo here of one that was a hardtop, different model Messerschmitt, where the door opened from the front. So you actually, where the engine would be on a normal car was the door. And you pulled that open and you climbed around the steering wheel. I don't know how the poor person in the back seat got in, maybe through the sunroof. But anyways, here's a photo of Cousin It inside his Messerschmitt. And standing next to him was the butler, whose name was, anybody remember the name of the butler?
Oh, I can visualize him, but I can't remember his name.
Lurch.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, Lurch. You rang. So the Messerschmitt was made by the company that made the planes that the Germans flew during World War II. Like Volkswagen, they managed to survive after the war and got into the automotive. Volkswagen was in the automotive business before, but Messerschmitt switched over to automotive, and they were selling these cars until 1964. But it was a big market for these little tiny cars. I thought they were. I think Jay Leno has one. I think I remember watching one of his shows where he drove one around. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways, all right. So let's take that off of here there, and let's this is another interesting animal story. This one. Oh no, this is the name of the company is Tortoise. So startup company Tortoise has created the first remote controlled store on wheels, a robot vending machine. I shouldn't have taken the picture down because I think I have a picture of one of these. Let's take a look here. Robotic vending machine. Okay, there we go. There's a robotic vending machine. They facilitate transactions that would not likely have happened if the robot hadn't been there. So they go directly to where people are. These robots are in a shopping mall, places where there's long lines. The robot walks up and rolls up and down the line, and people put their credit card in and they buy candy, popcorn, things that you would buy out of a vending machine. Yeah, a pretty interesting thing. So they're starting to expand them out of malls. They're going into cities. So the first thing I thought of, when I used to work downtown Cleveland, there would be carts that sold hot dogs.
Right.
And you always had they had to show up early to get ownership of the good corners, East 9th and Euclid. That was the ultimate corner to be on. So I can just see two of these robot vending machines fighting over the same corner. It would be robot wars with candy bars.
Love it.
Which I would pay to see, by the way. But John, get ready for this. They already have a contract with the National Hockey League and with the NBA, and they're talking to Major League Baseball and the NFL to start having these robotic vending machines at all the games. Now,
well, that's logical to me in a way. I mean,
you think?
Well, yeah. I mean, things are automated everywhere now. So instead of having the human interaction with someone, if you're buying a hot dog, get a hot dog out of the vending machine. I don't know how good the product would be, but
so so let's imagine that you're at a Major League Baseball game. The Guardians are down. Everybody's upset. The beer machine comes around. John puts his credit card in the beer machine and he doesn't get a beer. What do you think John's going to do to that vending machine?
I don't know. I'm probably attack the machine.
Start shaking it. Yeah, like you would with a normal vending machine that wasn't on wheels. I don't think this is a good idea myself. I understand your logic. I think that too many fans at too many sporting events get too worked up, and the first instance of their candy bar not coming out of their hot dog.
They're going right. Yeah, all of a sudden, it creates a big problem then, right? I get you.
Yeah, exactly. But I could imagine this, and here's something where we're going to show our age. I could imagine this going up and down suburban streets like the Good Humor Man used to during.
Well, that's what I just thought of. Yeah.
Going up and down selling ice cream. I think that'd be a great thing for suburban neighborhoods. I don't know.
We keep inventing things that take away the jobs for the human being.
No argument there, Karen. I believe that. I support you there. Yeah. And I hate to say it, but the factories where these things are made are often run by robots as well.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So figure, do the math. The robots are taking over.
Yep.
But maybe we should tip them over. I think that's our message here. You didn't hear it on What in the World, but
that's right. You're not trying to incite a riot of any kind.
But now, speaking of alcoholic beverages, this one, Jose Cuervo, which is the #1 tequila distillery in the world, which I didn't realize, #1 seller. They announced that they're opening their first distillery in the metaverse. So this is not even on the street, robots on the street. This is robots. This is drinking in the cloud, okay, where your avatar, it's not even you, it's your avatar, is ordering drinks at a metaverse bar, and you can now select Jose Cuervo tequila. Does that get you all excited, John and Karen?
Well, I like tequila. Wait, I like tequila, and we recently have been having these little, I don't know, 6-ounce bottles of Jose Cuervo. They sell them at the grocery store.
One drink.
Yeah, it's a margarita mix. It's like
Okay. Yeah, right.
yeah, it's good. They're good. We've had those, so yeah.
Yeah, but you drink it so that you can get the effects of the tequila.
Oh, of course.
The taste, obviously the taste. In the metaverse, you don't get the effect, but you don't get anything. You don't get what are they going to have to do? Because how we drink tequila. Next thing you're going to have metaverse puking. You're going to have metaverse aspirin. You're going to have a metaverse Waffle House to go at 3:00 in the morning after you've been drinking metaverse Jose Cuervo all night. This is
Paul. Never thought of any of these.
Somebody needs to work on this. This is a good business for one of those programmers out there. So anyway, I left that picture up because I've got another picture coming up right here. And I love this story. This one comes from Turkey. So 2 years ago, 2019, 3 years ago, Sadiq Kodakali is his name, Sadiq. He became famous on the internet. Why did he become famous? Well, Sadiq was sitting at an outdoor cafe in Turkey, and he was sitting underneath an umbrella, which they had wheeled out. It was on a stand, okay? And all of a sudden, a wind came up very quickly, and he saw that the wind was blowing the umbrella that was on this rolling cart. So he got on it while two other guys tried to hold it down and drag it into another area. The wind was so strong, it lifted him off the ground. And that's what the photo shows right here. He is a good 5 feet off the ground. If you Google the man flying under umbrella, you can see it's about a 15-second security camera video of him until they finally pulled him down back to the ground and he got off. I think I may have another picture of him. Yeah, there he is. Okay. Wow. So Sadiq, he loved it. So he was so excited about being able to fly in this umbrella. He signed up to join the Turkish astronaut program.
Oh my gosh. Didn't even know they had one.
Honest to God, yeah. He wants to become an astronaut. So he is going to astronaut training. He wants to become Turkey's first astronaut to the International Space Station.
Wow.
And he says, he'll go through all the training. He's all set. He's been working out. All that he asked is that he's allowed to carry a little cocktail umbrella, just like his little security blanket when he goes up there. So he remembers what it was like with the first time he went into space on the umbrella. Can you believe that? Flying on an umbrella inspired him to become an astronaut.
Hope it worked out for him, Paul. Let's keep a track on this person. See if
I think so. Yeah. I don't know how long it's Turkey, probably 6 months, and jump up and down on a trampoline a few times,
and they ship them up there, right?
Yeah, but get yourself in. Learn to eat freeze-dried Turkish food. You're ready to go.
Yeah, sure.
Now, for our friends down in Texas, this was I thought this was interesting. So Texas A&M, big agricultural school, big university in just north of Houston in College Station, Texas. The scientists are gene editing potatoes. In fact, they grew potatoes. John, what color is the Texas A&M school color? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. Maroon and white.
Maroon and white. They actually created sweet potatoes, and maybe it was white potato in the school colors. They managed to grow them in the school colors, which I thought. Well, yeah. So it's the same kind of engineers. Now they're using gene editing on potatoes to make them healthier, okay, and also so that they can have more uses, like in bioplastics, food additives, and even alcohol. Vodka is made from.
Well, like you said, it's a pretty renowned agricultural school, so.
That's right. So they want to make super potatoes, which I thought it sounds like a good idea unless you've seen the movie Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, which
Oh, yeah, that's an old one. That's a 50s movie, right? Or 60s?
50s movie. Oh, very good. Yeah, in fact, I have a photo here, a clip from Attack of the Killer Tomato. So there's a man running into his house being chased by a giant tomato made by scientists just like those at Texas A&M. That movie, believe it or not, that's a 1978 movie. It's in color, not a
78. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, 1978. It was a parody of Jaws and The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. So Jaws had just come out probably around about 3 years before that. So
Mhm. Right,
the
sure, right.
director and the screenwriters, yeah, they wanted to do a parody. So the tomatoes actually came out of the garbage disposal as punishment for people that put them down the garbage disposal, obviously. And they took over this town. And there was, did you see the movie, by the way, John?
No, I don't think I've ever seen it. No.
Oh, you have to rent it. You have to rent it. Karen, you have to rent it. Everybody out
Okay.
there, Attack of the Killer Tomato. Very funny.
I think I've
So
seen
there's
it.
only one way to stop the killer tomatoes. One of the people who was watching them happened to be playing the radio at the time. And on a song comes on the radio called Puberty Love. Puberty Love. And as the song came on, he noticed that the tomatoes stopped rolling towards humans and rolled away from the humans. So he made a mental note that if this might come in handy someday. So sure enough, he revealed it to the government. And what they did was they cornered all of the tomatoes in a stadium. And then they started playing Puberty Love. And
Love it.
all of the tomatoes, they couldn't get out because they were stuck in the stadium. So then the people ran down on the field. This is for you, John. They ran down on the field and started stomping on the tomatoes.
Oh, no.
Ruined the field, yeah, for the football game the next night.
Oh,
But at
gee.
least they killed all but one. And this tomato happened to have a headset on, so he couldn't hear the music.
Oh, that's why he was able to survive. Huh?
That's right. Yeah, they did something else to kill him. So
Oh.
turns out, to make a long story even longer and add a little more trivia to it, the song Puberty Love was written for the movie. Now, this movie is in 1978, okay? They hired a professional singer, a young professional singer, to sing it. His name was is Matt Cameron. If there's any kids listening, older kids, Matt Cameron later became the drummer of Soundgarden and is now the drummer for Pearl Jam. So that was his big break, was in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, singing Puberty Love as the tomatoes were dying, being stomped on in a stadium.
Well,
Now-
you learn something new every day.
Well, I got one more for you, John.
Okay.
I've got one more piece of trivia from the movie. I looked through the list of characters. There was only one name of any actor that I recognized, and that name was Jack Riley. Now, if you were a fan of the original Newhart, the Bob Newhart show, Bob Newhart was a psychologist, and one of his patients, one of his most famous patients, was Elliot Carlin, who everyone referred to
Yes.
as Mr. Carlin, and that was Jack Riley. Well, Jack Riley was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. He went to St. Ignatius High School. He graduated from John Carroll, which is our alma mater.
Yes.
Yep. He went into radio. He was part, and this I do remember, he was part of a radio team on WERE, AM 1300, Baxter and Riley in the morning.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
They used to do comedy sketches. Well, one of the people that heard the comedy sketches was a guy by the name of Tom Conway. Tom Conway eventually went to Hollywood and had to change his name because there was already a Tom Conway there, and he became Tim Conway, the famous Tim Conway from the Carol Burnett Show.
Sure.
He called his old buddy Jack Riley and said, "Hey, they're hiring all kind of crazy people out here. Come on out." And that's what he did. And he ended up he passed away a few years ago, but on many TV shows and
Oh yeah.
movies, small parts,
He was
Yeah.
a figure. Yeah, he definitely was. Yeah.
very good solid Jesuit education. You see where his Jesuit education led him, John.
Well, you see where it's led you and I, Paul, so far.
Yeah, that's
So
right. Here we are on What in the World. Where
it's
did we go
working
wrong?
out so far, anyway. Oh,
So anyways, all right. Okay, I can take this picture down now. Hey, let's see, how are we doing on time here? Okay, an auction shop in New Hampshire, our auction is taking bids on a sample of moon dust. Now, we grew up during the moonwalk, so we can remember when the astronauts went to the moon and brought back the moon dust. This was from Apollo 11, so this was Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. Brought back this moon dust, and it was fed to cockroaches. Now, why was it fed to cockroaches? To see if they would die. If the cockroaches lived, yeah. This was while they took the three astronauts, Collins, Aldrin, and Armstrong, and they had them sequestered, quarantined for 3 weeks because they were afraid. They didn't know if they were going to bring back some kind of deadly germs from the moon. And so they fed the dust to cockroaches, because if it couldn't kill cockroaches, it must be safe. And the cockroaches lived. So now, believe it or not, someone got behind those little cockroach butts and collected the dust because they needed to study it. Now they're auctioning it off. I wish I had a price. I don't know what they're asking for it, if we could bid on it. But I was just thinking, what would they have done if the moon dust had killed the roaches? I mean, besides being afraid for the astronauts, do you save the receipt and take it back on the next moon flight and get a refund for the dust? I don't know. But now this was by far the strangest story of the week. This one comes from Kenya, so that's already a warning here.
already cued in, right? Okay.
Yeah, police in Kakamega, Kenya, reported a man suspected of stealing a television set was cornered by a witch doctor, and the witch doctor knew that he stole it, so he made the TV set stick to the man's head until he took it back and returned it to the people that he stole it from. Along the way, just to make sure the guy didn't change his mind, the witch doctor allegedly brought a swarm of bees to chase him to the person's house. So if you don't believe it, I have a photo of this gentleman. There he is right there with the this is from the news story. The TV is stuck to his head. Now if you can see the photo, I know John and Karen can. That TV looks like it was from about 1975.
Yeah,
Or earlier.
Or earlier. So it's an awfully old TV, and the man is holding it. So if it is stuck on his head, maybe he's trying to get his balance. I don't know. A lot of people suspect that this was a fake by the witch doctor. Wait, but not by the guy, although he was an accomplice, but it was the witch doctor trying to drum up business because there were a lot of burglaries in the neighborhood. So the witch doctor and this guy teamed together, and they came up with this scam that he would say that the TV was stuck to his head, and the witch doctor did it, and he had to bring it back. And when he did, all of a sudden, miraculously, the TV came off of his head, and the witch doctor would be there passing out cards. This is, believe it or not, on that TV, once they were done, there was a commercial for the witch doctor. Have you been injured? Have you had your TV stolen? Call me. Just like Elk and Elk. I don't know what his name was or if he had a partner, but just like the ambulance chasers. In Kenya, they've got witch doctors.
Yeah, right. Holy cow.
I thought that was pretty scary right there. Okay, speaking of bees, that's my segue into the next story here. This one comes from Italy. Rocco Filomeno, good Italian name right there. He's a beekeeper in Italy, and he has opened the first, get ready for this, Airbnb.
Oh.
The B is spelled B-E-E. Now, why did he open an Airbnb, and what exactly is it? I have a photo of it right here. It's a one-room outdoor structure that he built with a giant hive of over 1 million bees built into the roof. So people actually rent this facility. They have a beautiful view up on a hill, but that's not why they rent it. They don't rent it for the view. They rent it to sleep inside this B&B to listen to the hum of the bees, which he says It has a soothing effect.
Mm.
I've stayed at cheap hotels in my day, and that's the same thing they said about the ice machine next to my room. It will help you fall asleep. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
right. Yeah.
Oh my
But
God.
that's a real Airbnb.
Okay.
If you can't see it, it's a massive structure
Yeah.
hanging. I'd be afraid that they'd be able to get out somehow
Absolutely.
Yeah.
or
It's a
fall
novel-
on my head.
It's a novel concept, obviously, folks. That's a
Yeah. Or I'm jumping up and down on the bed and I hit my head against it. Next thing you know, there's bees flying all over the place.
Oh.
Now, this one comes from England, this next story. I'll take this down here. I think I may be out of photos for a little while here. It's from Cornwall. My good friend Simon is from Cornwall. They found a previously unknown stone circle. You know, there's these stone circles everywhere. You can't throw a stone in England without hitting a stone circle, like Stonehenge. So this is the first modern stone found in Cornwall. It's called a henge, is what they call the stone circle. The henge dates back to 2500 BC, and it's in the center of another henge. So it's a Cornish henge. So if you've never
Cornish.
seen it,
Oh.
I know if you've never seen a Cornish henge, it's smaller than a regular henge.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't get as
Yeah.
much meat.
Seen the picture, seen them before. Okay. All right. We're going with that. We're going.
So
with
John, you don't escape that easily. This is a segue into my trivia question for you.
that. Okay.
And that is, Cornish hens are actually called Cornish gamecocks. They're not chickens, they're gamecocks. What college has a mascot, the Gamecocks?
I know this. I don't have to look it up either. Quickly on the internet. It's the University of South Carolina.
University of South Carolina.
Wow.
Yes, we got Bigfoot says, way to go, John. You got that one right. Do you know why they're called the Gamecocks?
Well, I really don't. I can only surmise that those kind of birds are in that area in South Carolina.
Okay, wrong answer. But good guess. Good guess. They're actually named for a Revolutionary War general, General Thomas Sumter, who was from South Carolina. So he was known as the Fighting Gamecock during the Revolutionary War.
Oh,
And that's so it's not. I'm sure there are gamecocks in the area, and that's how he got the nickname. But the school is named for General Sumter, the Fighting Gamecock.
take it a step further. The start of the Civil War, the Confederates attacked Fort Sumter.
That's right.
Which is in South Carolina.
Which is in South Carolina. We bring it a full circle here, kind of a hinge.
I knew it would make sense for me to be a history major. I knew it would pay off for me. So yeah.
You knew if you could find Dr. Barber, let her know that.
Yes,
you're
I will.
finally-
Right, exactly. Sure. Sure.
I'm finally using my history, Dr. Barber, on this podcast called What in the World? You'd be so proud of me.
Right. It's only taken 50 years, 45 years. Yeah.
That's right, Dr. Barber. Was it Dr. Barber?
Dr. Barber, yeah. But she actually technically taught political science. She was
Political
a
science,
political
okay.
science professor.
There was a priest. But we're gonna take a segue here for a
Father
second
Wolf.
while John and I reminisce about our days at John Carroll University in University Heights, Ohio. There was a priest who taught history whose specialty was General John Pershing.
Oh yeah, Father Smythe.
Father Smythe, thank you very much. I was
I
trying
had
to
him
remember
for
his
several
name.
classes, by the way. I had Donald
Several. Oh, okay.
He was a
I
very
had
good teacher. The other father you were mentioning, I thought of a political science prof also. He actually ran for Congress a couple times, Father Wolfel, if you remember. That
Oh, I
goes-
do remember that name. I never had him for.
Father Wolfel, yeah, many years ago. Right.
Okay, Karen's giving us the signal to wrap it up here.
Why not? Hey, I haven't given anybody the signal.
At least as you, as far as
Father
you know.
Smythe, there you go. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Oh, so this one comes from. I wanted to do this one last week. Fish Tech Marine, which is a fisheries consultancy. So they help people grow who raise fish. They were doing some consulting for people who raise scallops, and they came up with, they found out normally, and I didn't know this, scallops are like oysters. They're giant oysters. They grow in shells, and you open up the shell, and inside is the scallop. For those of you who didn't know that, I didn't. I'm willing to admit that. Here's another thing I didn't know, and I don't think I have the photo here. Scallops have 200 eyes. So they're able to, all the way around that circle, they have 200 eyes that they can see you eating with.
Oh my
Or
God.
they could
Wow.
see. Yeah. So these eyes apparently are sensitive. So this consultancy came up with the idea to try different lights because it's so hard to catch scallops. That's why they're so expensive. So they came up with a disco for scallops, and they had flashing lights, just like at a disco, and they put them inside a cage, and the scallops were attracted to go into the cage because of the disco lights. And then they're dancing. At least they were dancing until they got pulled up and dumped into the hot water. That's the frying pan.
Oh my God.
So believe it or not, so they did so well. The scallop farmers, the fisheries are just killing now on scallops. So in appreciation, they're coming up with a movie based on the idea, which they're going to call, wait, I have it written down here, Scallopy Night Fever.
Oh,
Jeez.
you're
There you
on a
go.
roll today.
I'm sorry, that's right. Who was the star of Saturday Night Fever?
John Travolta.
John Travolta,
Yeah,
very good. That was an
Olivia
easy one for you.
Newton-John.
That's right. That's right. Olivia Newton-John. Oh, very good. The first disco, I wanted to do a little bit of trivia. The first disco dates back to 1953. I didn't realize this. And it was in France. It was at a club called the Whiskey A Go-Go in Paris. And they had a DJ, and they had the lights and everything. That was the first disco. First disco in the United States was in New York City. At a place called the Loft, which was actually someone's house. And they used to have parties there, and they got so popular, he started charging admission, and they eventually turned it into a disco. First number one disco song on the American disco chart. Any guess? Just real quick here. I know John's not a big disco fan. I should have been asking questions
Would
like
it be a Donna Summer song?
Oh, very close, very close. It was Gloria Gaynor. Donna
Okay.
Summer was number 2. Never Can Say Goodbye, 1974. Her other big hit was I Will Survive.
Right.
Saturday Night Fever came out in 1977. 1977, so 4 years after that song. The Bee Gees went, global as a result of that. You Should Be Dancing, Staying Alive, Night Fever, More Than a Woman. John Travolta, everybody remembers. John remembered, and Karen, John Travolta. Olivia Newton-John. Did you say Olivia Newton-John?
Yeah, she wasn't in Saturday Night Fever.
That was
She
not
in
Saturday Night
Grease.
Fever. No, it was in Greece. There you go. Who was the girl in Saturday Night Fever?
I knew this and forgot it because she was not a well-known actress.
Not a well-known actress.
Not a
Her
well-known actress, and
her name in the movie was Stephanie. Her real name, Karen Lynn Gorney. Karen
Okay.
Lynn Gorney. Now, she was discovered on All My Children.
I thought so. Yep.
Yeah, she was a soap opera actress from 1970 to 1974 on All My Children. Guest starred on, after Saturday Night Fever, she was on Law and Order. She was on The Sopranos. So she must be Italian. What was her name again? Karen Lynn Gorney. That doesn't sound Italian to me, but
No, it doesn't sound Italian, but
the one name, the other name, I went through the list, which I like to do. Who else was in that movie? Fran Drescher. That was the first movie role for Fran Drescher, who is better known for her dimensions, her upper dimensions, and her voice.
politically correct statement, Paul. Politically correct.
Fran Drescher played Connie. Good name. And she's known for one line in that movie. And her line, which she said to John Travolta, was, "So, are you as good in bed as you are on the dance floor?"
Ooh.
Yes. Now, 2 other people who are not actresses. Helen Travolta played John's mother. So his real mother played his movie mother. And Ann Travolta, his sister, played a pizza girl in the movie. And that, my friends,
You know that.
is
You know
the
that.
end of our trivia portion of the show for What in the World. Now, that brings us to sports. What in the World of Sports with John Dinallo. So every week I ask John to come up with a strange sport that you may not have heard of, something from a different place in the world, something you may want to try someday. But this week we have a special sport, and this one was sent in by one of our listeners. Now she's a longtime listener, first time caller. Let me see what her name is. Her name is Karen Hale. Karen Hale, if you're listening, yes. Karen sent me an email last week and she said, look at these weird sports. Sure enough, Karen was right. And so our sport of the week, John did all the research. Let's take a listen to the sport of the week as suggested by our producer and media mogul at newclevelandradio.net, Karen Hale. Take it away, John.
Yeah, will do. Hey, thanks, Karen, again for contributing to this part of the show this week. So the origin where this sport is from is Europe, the European continent. And the name of the sport is Hornison. I'm just
say that again, John, slowly.
Hornison. I'll spell it.
Hornison. Okay.
Hornussen. Okay. At first glance, the sport of Hornison appears to be a mixture of golf and baseball, and yet it is much more. It is actually it's a Swiss sport. The sport originated in Switzerland, and the tradition goes back to the 16th century.
Oh wow! Okay, been around for a while.
Yes, quite a few years. So, as legend has it, in order to expel evil spirits, it was the custom to hit burning logs that are burning, down from the mountain and into the valley below.
I wonder what they hit them with.
Well, I don't know. Well, I'll give you some information. I don't know if I can fill the whole
Their
picture
foot,
in.
maybe. Okay.
But the sport of Hornison is supposed to have originated from this ancient tradition.
Okay.
This is a tradition that goes back, actually to, before Christ or what have you. But the name, it comes from the harness or nos, which originally is a disc made of wood or horn, which was hit into the playing field.
Oh, okay. Horn. Okay.
And harness refers to the hornet-like buzzing sound made by the nos. So,
all right.
So
how many people play this game?
Well, this is amazing. Okay. 2 teams of 18 players each.
Wow.
Compete in a contest. And there it is. And it consists of 2 bouts. The batting team has to hit the nouse with a copper fiber stick as far as possible into the opposing team's area. The defending team has to stop the approaching nos as soon as possible by using either a large catch board, which you can see there, which looks like a wooden pizza paddle. 2 turns are played, and in each turn, each team hits 1 and defends once, and every player hits twice with 3 attempts. This is an actual structured sport.
Yeah, so to give those that aren't looking at the photo an idea here, this is not like a football field or a baseball field. These guys, and it's guys, but I know it's just played by women as well. They're lined up 18 people, maybe 15 feet apart.
Yes.
So 18 people lined up, and then in front of them are the 18 other people on the other team. So there's 36 guys, 10 to 15 feet apart. So it's a long line of people.
Yeah.
Hitting this buzzing horn back and forth.
Not only that.
I'm guessing alcohol is involved, but
it is.
Find out later.
I'll continue with that, but so figure this out. A game takes anywhere between 3 to 4 hours.
Wow.
And the team with the smallest number of failed interceptions wins the game.
Oh, okay. So an interception is when they hit when they hit it with the paddle, I would guess.
Yes.
Instead of it falling to the ground. Okay.
Exactly. So now it sounds like fun, but it also can be dangerous. Measurements taken by the Biomechanical Institute at ETH in Zurich.
Oh, the MIT of Zurich.
Yeah, it's the ETH. That's the acronym. They've shown that the harness can reach speeds of 250 feet per second.
Wow.
A cruising altitude of 165 to 230 feet high, and a
Wow.
height range of up to over 1,000 feet or over 3.5 football fields.
3.5 foot, but yeah,
So
okay, that makes
these
sense. That looks
objects
like
are
it might
moving.
be. I
So
think I
these
got some
objects
of
are
the
moving
photos here.
very quickly. Right.
I
So
like this. I like that photo so much. There we go. There's some more. There's some more guys.
there it is. It's
Actually, yeah, here's a modern photo. So
exactly.
Hornison from this looks like an official. They got uniforms and logos on their paddles.
Hmm. And to your point, Paul, about alcohol, when the game was originally started, the losing team had to pay for afternoon refreshments after the match.
Ah, okay.
Makes
Today,
sense.
but today, instead, bets are made by fans on the outcomes of the matches, kind of similar how to people in the U.S. bet on sporting events.
Yeah. Now this is the other half of it, the golf portion of it,
Yes.
John, that you were talking about, where this player has some sort of swinging. It's not like a golf club that she's swinging at the ball and she's going to launch it into the playing area.
Right.
This looks dangerous. I'm sorry.
As they make reference here too. Again,
This looks
and,
dangerous.
no, it is. And then again, it's also known now that individuals and teams wager sometimes a sarsaparilla or two on the number of points gained. And it doesn't.
Okay. So the players can wager on themselves.
Yes, they are doing that there.
Oh,
Yes.
there you go. Okay, this sounds like an English game.
Karen,
Played at the pub. If the
Karen,
pubs were big enough, they'd play it here.
they would. Karen, this point is for you.
Okay.
In 1902, the National Hornison governing body was founded. Now, the association organizes championships for various leagues, and there are 3 yearly Hornison festivals and the Hornison matches at the other festivals throughout Switzerland. So
Wow.
it's a very, very popular game.
All right.
Last count, and this is again a while back, in 2011, there were 270 Hornison groups with over 8,300 players organized into 4 special purpose association societies that are affiliated with the governing body. So it is well structured. And
I
Yeah.
guess so. Yeah, a lot of it looked like there were some women playing it as well. So
yes.
there
Now,
you go, Karen. You know that.
Hey,
No,
that's my next
Get
sport.
pickleball.
Yep.
Yeah, forget pickleball. This looks better than pickleball.
and,
Your next sport.
yes. Well, that's for all of us that are in an advanced age. Let's
Yeah.
leave it at that. Hornison sounds like a great summer picnic game, but
Yeah.
never play someone from the homeland, from Switzerland,
Oh, okay.
because don't forget, the Swiss, they have their own Swiss Army paddles, and they know what to do with them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, in fact, I have a photo of their
Right
Swiss
there.
Army paddles. Yeah.
Uh,
Open that handle. There's a toothpick in there. I think there's a corkscrew for the beer, or a bottle opener. It has to be a bottle opener for the beer if they're wagering
you
beer.
know, a lot of European sports are enjoyed not only from the competition standpoint, but also from the revelry associated with it. So this sport is just like it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, speaking of revelry, Karen,
Yes.
I thought that was such a good suggestion that I thought maybe John would do a demonstration for us of Hornison. So I found one of these paddles, and I sent it over to him. And I said, John, why don't you take a photo of yourself playing Hornison? I thought Karen would love to see that.
Absolutely.
So would everybody listening, watching the show on YouTube. So John sends this one back to me of him using the paddle, the Hornison paddle. And that's what he did with it. He made pizza.
And you didn't deliver it.
Everyone is happy when that is completed. So I think I'm out to please people. I'm out to I aim to please. So thanks
there
again.
You go.
Exactly what I did with it.
Those paddles really do look like pizza paddles. So
They do. Yes, they do.
well, John, great story, and Karen as well. I really we should thank Karen for that one.
story.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the crowd goes wild.
Hey.
Good story. Hornison from Switzerland. But I doubt that anybody listening, unless you're from Switzerland, has heard of that particular sport. And if you are listening from Switzerland, please send us a note, drop us a line. Do
Absolutely.
like, fit us on Facebook, anything like that. We'd love to hear from you. But now, for those of you who like to wager, whether it's in real dollars or francs or yen or beers, it's time to play Bluff the Co-host, everybody's favorite weird news game. For those of you who are new to our show, Bluff the Co-host is based on stories similar to the ones that we've been telling all afternoon, with one big difference, and that is that some of the stories I tell during Bluff the Co-host may not be true. They may be bluffs, and it's up to Karen, John, and all of you playing at home to decide which ones are real and which ones are the bluff. So place your bet, get your wagers in, drink your beer, put Karen and John, put your hands on the buzzer. Let's get right to story number one. If you're worrying about the power going out while you're eating your takeout Chinese food, a company in Shanghai has you covered. It has developed light up LED chopsticks, which glow in the dark, can change to 9 different colors, are dishwasher safe, and rechargeable. But wait, there's more. If you're worried that when you're done eating and the power is still out and you need to go to the bathroom, another company there has you covered with glow in the dark toilet paper. The green glow can be seen all the way into the hallway, but if you're paranoid, just leave yourself a trail out the door. And if you're really paranoid, move to Shanghai. They have plenty more glow in the dark products for you. All right, so companies in Shanghai selling glow in the dark chopsticks, glow in the dark toilet paper, all the things you need when the power goes out. What do you say, Karen? Real or bluff?
I hope it's a bluff because, a company that's making chopsticks that go into your mouth and toilet paper that go on the back end, I don't trust them. So I'm going to say false.
False. That's a bluff. Okay.
That's
Karen,
a bluff.
would you would, so you wouldn't, if they were real, would you buy them?
No.
No. Oh, okay. All right. John, how about you? Glow in the dark toilet paper, glow in the dark chopsticks.
On first blush, had to say that. I was thinking what Karen was thinking. Yeah, that can't be real. But then entrepreneurs are everywhere. Entrepreneurs in Shanghai. I can see it being a very popular thing. I'm going to say it's real.
Oh, John says it's real. Would you buy either one of them?
Of course not. Just being honest, as Karen was. I got to be honest, Paul. Yeah.
All right. So John says that that both the glow in the dark toilet paper and chopsticks are real. Karen says that the bluff. Let's check with the judges, and the judges say, "Congratulations, John! You started off with one right. They're both real, Karen.
It's a conspiracy today, everybody.
Oh, the thing is, Annette and I were studying all weekend, so
I'm sure.
I would hate to tell you that I lost all 3, so at least I won 1. So I'm in the clear so far. Anyway,
John's on a roll. That's right. Get that robot beer machine to come, vending machine.
there you
Get
go.
it ready. John's going to be feeding you that credit card. Okay, so the score so far is 1-0. John's ahead. Let's get right to story number 2. A woman in France says she remembers her mother telling stories about her beloved 10-year-old pet tortoise, which was her best friend until one day 30 years ago when it disappeared, never to be seen again. Or so she thought. Last week, the daughter was helping her mother clean out the attic when they moved a box, and there was the pet tortoise, alive and slowly kicking 30 years later. While the mother was crying and kissing her long-lost tortoise.
Oh, my God.
The daughter found evidence that the attic had termites, and the tortoise had been eating the termites and their larvae to stay alive for 30 years. Now they have to fumigate, but at least they'll only be killing termites, not her pet tortoise.
Oh.
So, woman in France loses her tortoise 30 years ago, finds it 30 years later, living in the attic on termites. Real or bluff, John? What do you say?
Well, I think this is real because tortoises live to be to advanced age, but I can also think that the tortoise is not very mobile, and so if he's stuck somewhere and he is exposed to these insects. He could live off of
Okay.
those, okay? And he eats insects, or I should say tortoises and so forth, and turtles. They eat insects when they're outdoors. I'm gonna say it's true. I'm gonna say it's
John
true.
says it's true. And obviously John put a lot of thought into that answer.
Yeah, a lot of training this weekend. Hopefully it pays
There
off.
you go. Okay, great. Okay, so John says that is also a real story. Karen, how about you? Real or bluff?
Well, listening to John's tirade, I'm going to agree with him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ooh, okay. So
Yep.
based on John's answer, Karen's going to go with the winner so far and say that it's real. Let's check with the judges, and the judges say start crying because they found their tortoise after 30 years. Real story. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they were cleaning the attic, and hard to believe. You can see the tortoise. It's not thin. She didn't pick up the shell and it fell out because it was so skinny. It looked like it was eating very well. So they have a lot of termites to get rid of, needless to say.
Sometimes in this show, logic does make sense.
There you go. That's John's motto. That's right. Logic does make sense once in a while. Okay, so that means, let's see, the score is 2-1. John's ahead, but everybody knows points are doubled in round number 3. So Karen could come roaring back.
I could come roaring back.
Ahead. There you go. Well, get a home run or one of those things. Okay, let's see. We are at story number 3. If you're frustrated with the stock market and can't get any good investment advice from your stockbroker, it might be time to get a roll of dollar bills and head to Houston, where an exotic dancer at a strip club there has a better paying side gig as an investment advisor. Her advice is based solely on what she sees at the strip club, and she says she's been able to predict booms and busts, pun intended, by how many high-end, no pun intended, energy sales reps show up with clients and how much money they stuff into her G-string. She claims she predicted the 2007 recession using this method and made a bundle selling short, but she can't quit her stripping job because that's her research. If you want to know what's going to happen in the market tomorrow, head to Houston today and bring plenty of singles. All right, Karen and John. So the stripper in Houston, who is also an investment advisor based on how much money the high rollers spend stuff into her G-string every night. Real or bluff?
Well, we already know that Texans are very unique individuals.
Unique. Good.
Unique.
Okay.
Yes. I'm being very nice because you have friends in Texas. Okay. They're unique. So I think this is real.
Oh, wow. Just okay. Would you take investment advice from a stripper?
Oh, heck no.
Heck no. But do you think it's real? Okay.
Yep.
John, I'm not going to ask John because I don't want him to get into trouble.
I don't need to get into trouble, that's for sure. You know what?
What do you say, John? Real or bluff? The stripper investment.
I'm with Karen on this one. I mean, I think that the stock market, which is such a such a wide open thing. I mean, there's all kind of theories.
Wide open, no pun intended there.
No, yes, no pun intended. They're the most funny ones, but no, I just think that it's a possibility, and I could see it happening, and I'm going to say it's real.
So John says it's real. Karen says it's real. A stripper turned investment advisor, good investment advisor, I guess, according to the story in Houston, Texas. So I have that right. You both say it's real?
That's correct.
Right. Okay. Let's check with the judges, and the judges say, congratulations to both of you. That is a real story.
All
and
right.
congratulations to John.
Wow.
He got all 3 of them correct. That means you're our winner this week.
Wow.
A blind squirrel, finds a nut every once in a while. Well, thanks, Coach. Appreciate that. So at least I can tell Annette that our studying paid off. So that's
yes,
a good
it did.
And
So
my friend down in Houston, I hate to disappoint you, but I don't have the name of the strip club. You're just going to have to do what you always do and go to all of them.
They're going to have to do their research. They're going to do
There
their
you go. You got it. That's right. You can write it off on your taxes. You were doing investment research.
Really.
All right, great. Well, congratulations again, John. And again, thank you for all you do every week for us on What in the World with What in the World of
Thanks,
Sports,
appreciate
with
it.
your trivia help and just being an all around good guy. Thanks again for being with us. Thanks as
Sure.
always to Karen Hale, our media mogul, our producer, co-host at newclevelandradio.net. Take a look at newclevelandradio.net. After you download our podcast, take a look at all of the podcasts Karen has. They're all different subjects. You'll always find something good to listen to for whatever you need at newclevelandradio.net. And then, of course, I want to thank all of you out there in podcast land for listening to us, for watching us. We really appreciate it. We love feedback. I get a lot of feedback on Facebook from around the world, which really makes me feel good, because that tells you that funny stories and laughter is universal.
Absolutely.
And I think that's part of our message. Besides real news, sometimes strange, always funny, but laughter is universal. So we're glad to hear that you're listening to us around the world, and we do appreciate it. Come back next week. We will be here again on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely.
If not, check it with me on Facebook, and we'll let you know when we're on. So on that note, I'm going to say goodbye for this week.
Have a good
Everybody
week, everybody. Take
have
care.
a great day.
Yep. Bye-bye.